Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm VelvettB, and thanks for joining me today for a speed build of a small family home. I am a big lover of The Sims 4. I love playing The Sims 4, I love building in The Sims 4, and I don't mind a bit of CAS as well. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world at any of these things, but hey, I have fun and I enjoy it, so I'm really glad that you could come along with me today to have some fun building in The Sims 4. So the big thing about this particular build is it is two pack. Well, it's actually really only one pack. It's base game and life and death, and that is it. So just a very simple pack list for this particular build. And I wanted to build like a really cute family home for Ravenwood. So something that would be super adorable, really nice, just easy for a family to move in there and just, get on with life in The Sims. So at the moment, what I'm doing is just creating like a little bit of a faux sort of shaded area, and then I realized I'd made it too big. So I'm like, delete, delete, delete. Shh, don't tell anyone. And I tell you what, having those beautiful new columns and all the new items in the game that we got with the last base game update, it's just wonderful. I just went wild on those columns. I thought they were a really great way for the house to kind of stand out and just add a little pop of color against the house, because I went with quite a dark color on the house. By dark color, I mean black. I love combining black and browns, and that's what I went with in this particular build, just like going with blacks and browns, and it was just, I love it. It's just so pretty. And has like I wasn't going like super modern in this build, but I felt like it was a fairly modern kind of small family home and came out super cute. So I was really happy with that. Plus, I do love building with the Life and Death pack. I love that pack. I really love the gameplay. I thought the gameplay was fantastic, but the build buy in it was just absolutely beautiful. It had some really wonderful matching items, which I love, 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 because I love matching items in the game and being able to coordinate things. It just depends on the build, because some builds, if it's a bit more of an eclectic kind of boho kind of, build, then, well, you're probably not going to go with the matching side of things. Oh, I had a little problem here. I was doing this here and then I deleted it, but because of the way the rooms were done, or the platforms were done, if I added the platform or the room there, it was just it was connecting with the other one, and I kept on deleting it. So I was like, oh man. So I just got rid of that and extended out the roof. I could have fussed around with it, but I was just like, well, it's really just a little coverage area. And then I was kind of playing around with the windows. I was like, well, do I want to go like full on life and death? At this stage, I wasn't sure if I was going to go more modern or more traditional in styling. So I'm just kind of playing around with the windows. And then you'll sort of see these get yeeted and deleted, because I was like, well, there's way too many windows, Velvet. Way too many windows. Because when I added in the color, I was just like, no. I overdid it on the windows, and I was like, oh man, silly me, as you do. I love windows though. Honestly, windows are great because they save having to find things on walls. So if I'm doing like a limited pack build, I do like to go a little bit heavier on the windows, simply because it means I don't have to find as many things to fill the wall space with. And is that a little bit cheaty? Maybe. I don't know. You can decide, but I think it's just smart thinking about what to do for gameplay. Or for making it easier on myself for building. Because, limited pack, you've got more limited items. You have less options to go as far as artwork. I mean, at least with the Life and Death pack, you do have the tarot paintings. I mean, not all of them are super great as far as decorations go. It depends on your house, obviously. Like if you're doing like a really cool tarot-ish, I don't know, real heavy life and death build. I don't feel like this is a real heavy life and death build. Yeah, it's definitely life and death, but it's not like super mystical or anything like that. And I feel like, in a mystical kind of build and stuff where maybe you're going into the Crystal Creations pack. Oh my going on outside. Wow, can you guys hear that? There's like a whole lot of honking going on outside. People are going wild on the internet on the ride home. Tell you what though, it's Friday evening here as I'm recording this, and you know, it's a Friday afternoon and people just want to be home, and they're just like, yeah. There's also a thing on here which is really great explanation there, Velvet. But it's like the Americana festival, so it's like America, like as in a brum brum car, Americana. So there's like a whole lot of American classic cars and bits and pieces in town at the moment. So there might be people honking and driving around and doing things. I don't know. It's a possible explanation anyway. So back to the build. It's always exciting times when you're trying to record and there's honking, or there's trains going past, or cats meowing, or things falling down, or your phone beeping because you forgot to turn it on silent. It's always the way. It is what it is. It's life. Life is messy. We'll just carry on. It's fine. So what was I talking about? The build. That would be a good thing to talk about. So I'm just using some of the little event bits and pieces, like the bike that we got from the Reaper Awards, and the little welcome mat that we got from some other reward event. I feel like the reward events are quite nifty for base game players, because you're just adding little bits and pieces to the game, until the fact that the base game catalog is starting to get quite meaty, in the sense that there's some really good stuff in there now. I love having the little console, the cube console, for doing multiplayer gaming and stuff. I love that. I love having that. Although I'm just thinking about it now, I don't think I actually added it to this build, but I have been adding it to a lot of builds. It's just super cute. And the options that some of these event items give you, like the little milk cartons that we're getting with the Blast from the Past event at the moment, that's quite handy. I'm building a garage obviously with this particular build. I did use the debug cars. So if you're not sure about how to get cars in your game, basically there's a couple of cheats that you can use. The one that which one is it? It's a live edit one. So BB show live edit objects is the cheat that you want to use to get, I think it's live edit. It's either bb.show hidden objects or bb.live edit objects. Either of those cheats or both of those cheats will work. And yeah, you can find in a variety of cars under debug, and it's quite handy. Now I did struggle a little bit with this upper floor because I wanted it to be a small family home. That was the intention of the build. That's exactly what I had in my head when I built it. And yeah, I needed to have 2 bedrooms at a minimum. I couldn't just have a 1-bedroom home and have it be a small family home. That would make no sense. So I extended the front a little bit, just by 1 grid, and it just meant that I had that just smidge wider bedroom, so that I could fit in like that second bedroom, and at least be fairly big, and not just like a cupboard under the stairs, Harry Potter-esque kind of bedroom under the stairs, or like Cinderella bedroom under the stairs. Oh, that reminds me, I need to build a Cinderella house. I forgot about that. Sorry, waylaid there thinking about it. Like, Cinderella house, gonna have to do that. So the thing with these windows from Life and Death, and this is the same with Growing Together, I have a gripe about this. So this is a Velvet gripe, right? The Growing Together windows and these Life and Death windows, and I think it happened with Love Struck as well. This is a small wall build, so it's a small wall height, right? And when you're using these windows on a small wall height, and then you have a second floor, they just a smidge, like when you just place them without having to alt place them, just placing them naturally, they actually poke through up into the second level. So you get like the smallest line of flickering on that second level, and it's really, really irritating. And it happens with Growing Together, I think Love Struck, and with Life and Death windows as well, which is just a little pain in the buttocks, I've got to say. I'm not a fan of that, because if you move your windows down the next level, then they sit way too low on the wall and they look silly. So it's kind of like you kind of got to have them at that height, but then if you have them going through the next level and you got flickering going on up there, and it's just like, yeah, it's no good, no good, my friends, no good at all. So that's my little window gripe. Like I really love the windows, but they need to be tweaked as when where they snap on the wall or where they actually how thick they are, maybe, I don't know, something that just needs to be tweaked a little bit to make it work, so it's not like flickery on the top level, because you don't want that. No sorry, Bob. So on the bottom level, I'm just going full bore on life and death stuff, by the way. There's just no denying that. It's got some great stuff, so why not use it? I'm doing 2 packs, essentially 1 pack, really. I mean, base game, does that count as a pack? I don't know. Does it count? I kind of don't count it as a pack, because it's the game, right? And then you have your extra pack as base game. Anyway, I'm just going full bore on life and death, as much life and death as stuff as I can get in there. I just kind of felt like there needed to be something else in that kitchen area, so I did like a little cute little half island, just seats, and didn't really, need anything else on top of it. I didn't want to block it by adding clutter on top of it, so I kind of just left it as is, and I thought it was cute as is anyway. So here, I discovered when I was doing another build the other day that if I push this cabinet from life and death through the wall far enough, you can actually put the TV through in the middle of it, which is quite handy. Like, it looks quite cool, and I was like, ooh, handy dandy. So, and it's still functioning. It's still fine because it's just a TV sitting in a cabinet. So the problem is you have to push it through far enough that it does stick through to the other side of the wall. So you kind of have to work around it. And my workaround in this instance was to actually add the same cabinet, but on the back side of the wall. So you can't actually see that you can't really see that I've actually pushed it through, and you kind of got back-to-back cabinets on either side of that wall. And I've just used it as like a little bathroom storage cabinet. So this bathroom downstairs, I did try to get it as a full bathroom with a shower, but because I'm using just the 2 packs and we don't have an Invisi shower with life and death, I just couldn't fit a shower in that space with the cabinet. So I was like, oh well, it's a half bath, and as long as there's like some sort of shower in the house somewhere, I mean, it's fine. So there's an upstairs bathroom as well, and that has the shower in it. So that's kind of like the guest bathroom with a half bath, and I think that works just fine. So that's my little TV area. I did want to put a fireplace in here as well, but it turned out didn't really end up having the room in the living room to fit a fireplace. Like, I could have put it along that wall, but it seemed like quite an odd spot for a fireplace to go. So I was like, well, we'll just not have the fireplace. It's fine. And it's all good. I mean, there's probably, you can add your own heating. I was just thinking, there's no thermostat, there's no radiators, so, but if it's just base game and life and death anyway, and you're not playing with seasons, I mean, yeah, you can add your own heating, and or if you don't have seasons, then it doesn't matter, because you don't really need the heating anyway, because you don't have any seasons, which is actually, thinking about it, quite an interesting idea, because I've been playing with seasons in my game for so long. Just the whole idea of not having it is kind of strange, right? But I mean, you don't know what you don't have. Like, if you don't have seasons, you simply don't know the difference in the game. So, it's just one of those funny things. If you do have it and you think about it and you're like, what? Life without seasons in the game? Well, there was like a giant lack of, as I said at the start, it's just, I did a lot of windows because I knew there wasn't going to be a whole heap of options as far as like wall hangings and wall art and bits and pieces. So, you just do the best you can when you've got limited packs, and I think I did all right. And I even remembered the light switches. So, good job, Velvet. Well done. I'm not always the best at remembering the light switches. In fact, after I finished this build, I went back and went into another build and added the light switches that I hadn't put it up on the gallery yet. So it's like, I'm glad I hadn't put it up on the gallery because I'd forgotten the light switches. And I even remembered the ceiling as I was building. I was going to put a bar there, like it fit, but it was going to be such a weird place for a bar. So I was like, no, Velvet. Just put like a lovely little seating area. Just have this weird random bar upstairs with no other connection to the house whatsoever. This is me trying to work out if I wanted to add a fireplace. It's like, no, not quite working. Although I'm thinking maybe I could have put it in the upstairs bedroom, but hindsight's a wonderful thing, and I didn't do that, so oh well. Also, curtains in base game, because we didn't really get proper curtains with Life and Death. I mean, we got like these little like wall hanging type curtains, and they're quite big and chunky. And they're fine for particular builds, but for a more modern sort of style family home build, they're a bit too big and chunky, and don't work on small walls anyway. So there was absolutely no small wall curtains for Life and Death. So I just had to use base game ones, and I decided to do like orange just as a match to the build, because orange and brown actually go quite well together. So that was kind of my reasoning there. I thought orange and brown, it's a bright color for the kids, and there's a few other sort of orangey type things around for the kids I can just sort of add to that build. So I was like, right, that'll work nicely. And I love that wallpaper with like the crows and the owls wallpaper, just adorable. I thought about doing the owls in the master bedroom as well, but I thought, nah. We've already got a bird theme wallpaper in one room. Let's just not do that for the adults. And it continues to bug me that there is no snap spot for the toothbrush and for the soap on the sinks in Life and Death. Like, why not? We've got snap spots on pretty much all other sinks. Why not that sink? Like I get it on the sinks where there isn't space for it, but on these two sinks, like we've got two different sinks for Life and Death, and on both of them there's space to put it. So why isn't there a snap spot? Why? I feel like that was an oversight more than a deliberate choice not to. That's kind of how I feel. So what I'm doing here is, because we don't have curtain rails being just the Life and Death pack, and we didn't get curtain rails with that. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm using the immaculate shelving from base game just to sort of cover up the curtain area. I'm just thinking now I probably should have gone all the way around with it, but I didn't. So oh well, such is life. And then I was just working on the color of the room. I was originally going to go brown and white, and then I saw the green bed, and it's just like so pretty, and I was like, I'm going to go green instead. And it worked with the curtains, so I didn't have to redo the curtains. So I was like, fine, awesome, boom, done. So happy days. I love the dark green anyway. It's super pretty, and you just match that with the light green bed, and it's just like, oh, lovely, and like teal furniture, and it all just works. It's just, I love that Life and Death furnishings. They're just so pretty. Like, they're all matchy and coordinated, and it's just like, oh, so lovely. And I wish they'd do that more with packs, and I think they're starting to, which is great to see. I just want more of it because I'm greedy. And it's going to be really interesting when we get the new business hobbies and business pack, which is coming out in March 2025. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. I feel like it's got like some more Nordic sort of style build by, like your IKEA type of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. It should fit well with a modern aesthetic, and I love a modern aesthetic. I like all kinds of building, but modern is good for me. And you know what? I almost forgot about the garage, but I did remember just in time. So I'm just going to put the finishing touches on this bedroom, and then we're going to whip over to the garage. Here we go. Bong. There's the garage. And I kept it pretty simple. There wasn't a lot to put in there in terms of hobby stuff. And I was actually looking for tires and bits and pieces, and I couldn't see any in base game. So I just added the rubbish bin there, and boom, windows, boom, done. And that is basically the build. I want to say thank you for watching. You guys enjoy the screenshots, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.